Hey everyone, it's Scott from Heroic Studios Gaming coming at you with another video. Today I wanted to talk to you about a video game called Werewolf the Apocalypse Purgatory. It's a new game that just came out from Different Tales, the same creators of Vampire the Masquerade, Corduroys of New York, and a few of the other Vampire the Masquerade games. They've sort of made a partnership with Paradox Interactive, and so they're making games for them. So let's just jump right into this game so we can start talking about it. Bow! So this is actual gameplay right over there, from me playing this game. Essentially, it's a story game. It's sort of a text game where you're playing as Samira Romani. You are a refugee from Afghanistan, and it covers sort of the political world sort of going on in Afghanistan right now with the Taliban coming in. And essentially, your character, Samira, is going to leave Afghanistan and get to Poland, where she's dealing with a lot of the stuff, the sort of aftermath of everything going on. But the clincher is she's a werewolf. And so this character is made through the current Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition rules. So you get to start off making some choices about your character, and then it continues to tell the story. So you get to choose things like some of your physical characteristics, how high your rage is, what your level of Harno is, and you get to start off doing that. And then you follow the story of her trying to escape Afghanistan and getting to Poland with her little brother Kasim, and all of the stuff that goes on there. And then after that, there's some problems in Poland that she has to deal with. And it's pretty interesting. There's some deviating paths in the story, so you get to make choices, and the choices you make actually have a pretty tremendous effect on how the story plays out. The one downside is that sometimes when you make a choice, it cuts off all other choices, and you have no choice to go back and look at them. So, for example, there's an option where you can choose to meet up with one person or another person. This is sped up, by the way. I had to speed this up because it's actually quite slow-moving text. So this is the sped-up version of what it looks like. Sorry if it's going a little too fast, but I wanted to give you a good taste of what it's like. But you make a choice, and if you choose one of the paths, you don't get to go down another path. So I chose a path to look into the Banes and the Fomori and all of the stuff going on with that. And it kept me from being able to go investigate the problems with the Silver Fangs and other things going on with the werewolves. So this kind of I was never able to go back and do it, which in an RPG you might be able to go back and call that contact and revisit or find out what's going on, but it doesn't really cover that. So, that's kind of one downside to this. The choice you make legitimately changes how the things end for you. And then even some other choices later on where I wanted to find out what was going on. I spent too much time listening, and I didn't blow something up or escape. Or at one point you can choose from the sept, you can choose to take from their armory, and I chose a piece of tech, and then later I was on a train and I got attacked by a gray mass, and it's you can't touch it, so you need a weapon, and I didn't have a weapon because I didn't choose a weapon. I chose a piece of tech. So kind of like that. The choices matter, so I had to deal with the sort of aftermath of those choices that I made, which is actually kind of cool and interesting. It means that the story is kind of somewhat unique to the way that I decided to play it for me. I can go back and do it again, so that is the upside. You can go back and play it as many times as you want, and I will, because I want to know what happens, what's going on with the Silver Fangs and the whole political side of what was going on. I got to see all the Banes in action, and I went down the path that led me to the Pentex kind of group, and the weapons manufacturing kind of going on, the war on both sides being played by the corrupt organization, so the corrupt corporation. Very good story. But the one cool thing is that it's a text-based game, but it had cool animated art. As you can see here, there's this cool art that kept popping up, and it was interesting to have it because it was animated. There was some music that went on in the background, which is a neat little trick. Because if you try to do it on your phone, because some of these kinds of games you can play on your phone, I know the other company that they work with, Choice of Games, when you do them on your phone, you just get text, right? You don't get the cool animated images, but when you do it on a computer, you do. So it's kind of cool to play it through on the computer where I got to have these animated images, this cool art that went along with things, the music that intensified in intense moments, the clickable interactive things. I got to choose the forms that I wanted to take, and I got to choose, it would show all 5 of them, and I get to choose which one of the forms I wanted to go in. Obviously, if I was already human, I couldn't choose human form because I'm already in that form. So cool things like that. couple of things. It follows the basic rules for Werewolf the Apocalypse pretty well, but it is gamified. So like the interaction between like willpower and Haruno and health and rage, that was very much gamified. Now they exist, they were used properly as far as the game rules were concerned, but like there were choices that I got to make that I had to make. Sometimes I didn't have a choice. Sometimes all of my options were to gain Haruno. There was no option. I couldn't take any other option. Or no matter what choice I made, I lost willpower. So that's kind of stuff that was a bit strange because I didn't think that it should have played out like that in some cases. But then there was also times where like the choices I'd made for the skills that I had meant I had different options, or my standing with a person or a location, like whether it was friendly, not friendly, +1, +2, whatever the case was, I had different responses or reactions from it. So here's one of the choices where I got to choose my form, and I decided to go with the Krynos form, the war form, to fight with these guards that were kind of coming at me, soldiers that pointed guns at me and my little brother, right? So it was pretty fun. It's a pretty fun game. It is $13.99 currently on Steam, which is a little bit steep. I think it would have been better probably as a maybe $10.99 or an $8.99 game. As it was, if you have Heart of the Forest, the other game they made that's Werewolf the Apocalypse, you can buy it for $10.99. They give you a discount because they give you like a group discount for both, but you already have one. So Steam already doesn't make you pay for the game that you already have, so it drops it down to $10.99. So that's an option. If you have Heart of the Forest, you can get this one for $10.99. But I think it's kind of more like it's a $7.99 game that they're selling for $14, which makes sense. You know, developers got to make money, so I can't fault them in that. But it was still fun. It was still worth like spending time. It took me about an hour to get through it, which I know is just because I went down certain paths. I know that if I were to go back and do it again, I'd have another hour of gameplay going through different path and so on, right? It's kind of like, it's a short game. It's a short story. It's just a text story, and it's probably only 25,000 words or something. It's very simple, like novelette that they've made interactive. So it's not going to be long no matter how you cut it. So yeah, so that's the game. I'm going to stop it there because it gets to another chapter and it was taking a bit to load in the video, so I'm just going to cut it there. But that's it. That's what it is. It's a very fun game. It's worth your time. Like I said, if you do have the Heart of the Forest, then you do get it for cheaper, and so I would recommend that. Otherwise, maybe wait for it to go on sale. It's currently has like an introductory sale of 10% off, but maybe wait till the Steam sale or something if you want to get it. Just because it's a text-based story. I don't want you to go in thinking you're getting like paying $15 for a AAA super cool game with interactive stuff. You're not getting that, but still worth the fun. And for anyone who's like interested in learning Werewolf the Apocalypse, it's actually a pretty good introduction to like the setting and the feel of the theme of Werewolf the Apocalypse. And it also, like, if you go down that investigation of the supernatural murder path, you do find out more about like Banes and Fomorian spirits and stuff. You interact with a couple of the different spirits from the Umbra. You have different Umbra interactions, and if you chose like Mystic, for example, if you do like a Theurge kind of thing, then you do get more of the umbral existence, more interactions with those spirits, which is kind of cool. So it would help you understand Werewolf the Apocalypse if you were interested in that sort of thing. So it's not a waste of time if you are wanting to get to know Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition or any of the Werewolf the Apocalypse stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, so that's it from me. Enjoy the game, or don't. I'm just recommending to you, like, reviewing things that I've played and recommending to you why they should be good or fun. Note that I didn't make a video on Heart of the Forest because it wasn't my favorite. So, there's that. But this one was actually pretty good. So I'll leave you with that, and hopefully you have some good gaming. I'll see you all later.